here in Kraków to kick off the year at Intel Extreme Masters. Aurora v GamerLegion, a BO3 to open up stage 1. 16 teams look to progress up against the top 8 in the world. We're going to find out who's meeting them there.
All right, it's the moment you've all been waiting for. Let's kick off Kraków in style. It's a pistol round coming up, and little util exec out towards A just to put pressure on. But GamerLegion, they've got their sights set on this yard control. Zantares caught sleeping at the wheel. A little slow to react there as they drop on down. That's a 5v4 mopped up. But Madger and co might have something to say about that. They've got Rez pinned in over here towards Hell. Let's see if Snax can exploit this attention. The gap that's opened up. Snax collects a freebie on his move out towards ramp. And right now, if you're Aurora, you don't really know where this pistol's ending up. You've seen players at lower. You've seen guys in the yard. It's all one big question mark to the side of Aurora. Let's see if they can piece it together.
Oh, Soulfly does recover. It's a stable shot. Snax is down B meanwhile, and the bomb is coming in, but they don't have vent control. Can Aurora sneak down in time? USP trying to cover. Snax with missed shots. Those Julies getting closer and closer, and even support in the form of Woxic. A fearless rotation from Aurora, but one that's punished. Hypex holds it down, and with the door shut, Soulfly's position on that B bomb site unknown for now. He's going to perch himself at the back of B. 20 seconds. GamerLegion essentially have to go. Do they clear this?
Oh, they've got him spotted. Soulfly can't get out with anything. And they hear this vent rotate from Woxic, so it's not really a surprise where he's going to be appearing. Snax is shutting that door on him.
Oh dear.
Literally and metaphorically. And it's such a Snax way to win this round. What are you going to do? Finally gets through the door and will get past Snax, but he's wasted a lot of time here for Woxic. Bomb planted in behind this silo. Hypex will have to swing him.
Doesn't buy it.
But doesn't even clamp down on that first tap, and so this should be a done deal. GamerLegion will find success in this pistol round. Woxic gets out with both the kills, but that delay play in at the door from Snax is enough to shut Aurora out of it.
Just an insane way to start off the tournament. Snax on home soil in his home city as well. Able to put up a sneaky ramp move, and then just the door stuck, slam in the face of Woxic. No entrance, and no pistol for Aurora. GamerLegion start the series off with a bit of a smile.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
It's a really good buy for a second round though, right? Woxic saving the Kevlar. 2 rifles, 3 SMGs. GamerLegion have still got to watch out in a round like this. No AKs on them. And Woxic, this feels like a position able to grab a free kill, but GamerLegion look to path close.
Rez is looking very ready for a peek up here. Feels like he just cleared it though, and right as he goes back to get the util, Woxic just going to tap him out of the round. Puts that M4 to work.
Annoying way to start the round, considering Rez just checked it out, but lots of util on this top side. They're going in for the main split. Clear is lazy for Torsen. It takes Snax to make up for it, and what was a 3-on-5, GamerLegion need multi-kills. Only 1 for Hypex, up the vent denied, and 2v2 for GamerLegion, but they've never cleared the site. Woxic was here the whole time. Bomb loose in lobby, PR 1v2. He's meant to be the star of the show here for GamerLegion. What's he got?
Up and over ain't bad, especially while Soulfly is still so far away on this rotation. Quite soon he's going to hear the ladder, tries to use that moment to battle forward, but the rotate arrives, and there's Woxic's support. That's what he was waiting for. Man, credit to Woxic. That's a really, really potent rifle in the second round. Puts it to work out in the yard, steals away the 5v4, and then instantly commits to a rotate away, right? Changing position. It's a similar vibe to when he's donning his AWP. The instant repos gets in towards the back of the site, and you saw how unexpected it was. You know, no one was considering that he'd been hiding there the entire time.
Woxic does love dropping backside with the AWP, right? It can limit you a lot of times, it can leave you out of the action, but on those top hits, very good at putting up multi-kills. GamerLegion broke. Snacks has found the money for PR.
Oh, all right, Snacks. That's nice. He's going to be very happy with that.
I want to see the Xantares reaction after that kill. Just jump spotting, dead to a deagle.
Oh, it gets
kill.
even better in slow motion. Yeah, that's a tilting death for Xantares.
Nice. Now just ramp pop for 2 here, Harry.
Yeah, Madger up on the boost. Support in from Soulfly as well, able to keep this to Aurora's advantage. Could get caught with the nade out, so just tried to get it in there fast as possible. And from the high-flying Deeg that opened things up, it doesn't go much further for GamerLegion.
A good gamble there for Aurora, realizing that they're probably not going to go outside after that kill. They're still on pistols at the end of the day. We have rifles, so group up on ramp. Probably no util for the A hit. It is their best option. So a nice read from Aurora. Puts them in the right place and gets rid of that force buy round. One more eco for GamerLegion. Aurora right now in control.
You do kind of hope that Snacks is able to keep up the look from these early couple of rounds. Because, you know, I think we've gotten very, very used to seeing a largely nonchalant Snacks, right? He's always been a guy who's felt very cool and calm under pressure. This is actually getting a little nerve-wracking, isn't it? But should get mopped up now. But, you know, seeing him here with kind of a point to prove. Home territory. You want Snacks shooting for the stars.
Yeah, and I think GamerLegion are in a weird position, right? You've even heard from PR in this interview talking about how, you know, insinuating he want to play with better players and a better team. And, you know, we've seen the talent from him last year especially, but at the same time, Snacks is going to need to perform as an individual in this roster if they are to make any runs, right? It's one thing when you're on G2 and you have a bunch of stars around you and you can fill in the gaps, but we still need games out of Snacks and performances if GamerLegion are going to make a run here. This round looking simple right now, and yes, Madger makes it so.
Very well handled.
Yeah. Well, good morning, Madger.
Yeah.
Too easy for him.
That's the old breakfast 3K from Madger.
Nice start, all things considered. That pistol was hectic. But everything since has come up for Aurora.
Woxic, who is 7-0 and was instrumental to the early collection of rounds for Aurora. He gets to don his AWP now. And he won't have any contest from Hypex on the other side, not for a while anyway. So a chance to move up the board even further. Sure, Xantares has been getting kind of wrecked to open up this game, but with Woxic showing up in fantastic fashion to begin this series, he should be able to bridge the gap in firepower there. Soulfly, quick death as the entry comes through into this top site. Xantares, there's the lineup.
There he is.
And now he gets rolling as well. A Rifleman, their Rifle Star, getting online with a big 3K in the first rifle round. And it's very, very quickly laid to rest for GamerLegion. They're back down to the pistols. It's been familiar territory to open up this game. Unable to find a way in since that pistol.
Say his name and he shall appear. Triple kill on the top side from the Terminator. Massive from Xantares when you consider GamerLegion found that quick entry. That was looking problematic for Aurora. But Xantares enters the series, enters the tournament with a bang. GamerLegion just left broke. Nade cycled outside, but Rez is aware of this. He's crossing late, not been spotted, trying to sneak down lower. Is patiently waiting. Oh, but not forever. Does spam him out. Did
That's
the smoke
just
fade?
crazy, isn't it?
I think the smoke must have faded, maybe. Because there was none in the kill feed. So Rez just a little bit too late after those well-timed nades from Aurora. Slowed the whole thing down, and now with no one in lower, Aurora should realize GamerLegion a full lobby. There's no good answer for this position. The gap is ramp, but even then, it's the AWP. How much of a gap is that? Woxic smoking like he's not AWPing it. Oh my...
Okay. Well, turns out it's a pretty huge gap. Caught with a knife out on a reposition. Zantares already down here at lower one to the dome straight away. Hypex even getting it on that AWP. And a pickup on the Tech 9 from Snax as he goes chasing for a big double. Torsen has Madger boxed in over here at ramp, a fight he isn't able to close upon, and that's going to leave it on Hypex with this AWP. Time is his big enemy right now. And that's before you take into account these two enemies ready to hound him down at the moment he goes for that plant. They just put the fear in him and leave him in a position now where he would have to commit if he wants to win the round. Instead, it's an attempt at the save. An attempt really is the key word there as Wakadia comes in for the hunt.
Oh, disaster. Death after time as well. It doesn't get worse there for Hypex. Just gets run at right by the vent. And sure, Woxic, huge mistake. Not sure what communication came in there to make him run knife out towards his ramp smoke. But even though it's punished, it's still Aurora, despite these early disadvantages winning the round. Zantares 1 deke outside, Woxic ramp push, and GamerLegion still can't convert on any of these advantages. Oh dear, and Snax with the jump. Cheekiness doesn't always pay off. There is a second rifle outside and it won't survive for long. Cross does come through. Woxic trying to battle out of this position. Bomb makes it down secret, but Woxic is just feeling it right now. 9 and 1. And picks Rez off the roof as well. GamerLegion just getting drowned right now.
Oh, PR, all right. Suddenly you're right back in it. They lurk into the yard. They just weren't ready for a player here so late in the round. Woxic's been dispatched down towards lower. 2 guys to try and contain. Soulfly still roaming the yard, cognizant of this PR flank. GamerLegion still hold their positions, waiting to see either if PR's given something on this lurk or if the 2 players in at lower are fed a kill. And it's looking like it's going to be the latter. Soulfly, good choice to not go towards the single door. Not that he's supposed to know that.
Oh no.
Heading into the vent, they're going to try and come up to join up with the A-site play. Soulfly gets the spot. And now they know where the round is ending up at least, meaning Woxic gets ahead of this. With the form he's in, he is interested in this 1v2.
Cover is there. PR's already dropped back sight. He is right on the hut right now. How could Woxic know this? It's a great position taken. The trade is ready to be swung. They are so aware where he's coming from. PR has heard this rotate. Woxic, quick shot. 1v1, nades pulled. Woxic gets a second chance at 10 and 1. You don't want to give this guy another go. Torsen rotates out, moves away. Plays the clock. Woxic, a very difficult clutch now with no information. He could be anywhere. Back time, but he flicks in time. 4 kills and all the glory for Woxic. An unlosable round lost by GamerLegion yet again.
He gave you 2 chances to finish the job, and if you don't take them, Woxic will punish you for it.
That is sickening. That's that high DPI right there. Fast as hell.
Wow, wow, that is the quintessential Woxic round. Gets to show the flair, gets to show the style, the flicks, everything about that.
Oh, what are you meant to do? GamerLegion just can't convert. They can't get on the game.
This was their problem back at Bounty as well, right? When you think about the run that this team had and when they finally got put down, it was admittedly to the big dogs of Vitality. But there were moments in those games, both maps being really close, where they had them on the ropes, where they would get to favorable positions. It was in the round closes. It was letting clutches slip through. It was letting man advantages get away from them. That was what lost GamerLegion this series, and there's been a lot of that in this. Open up their run here in Kraków.
6 rounds of it, to be honest. Woxic is obviously going to go for the pick. And can you blame him with a game? And he finds Torsen again. He's in his nightmares right now. Back-to-back rounds. Woxic 12-1. Outstanding debut in Kraków. PR's had enough. He runs out the door, but on top of the hut, Soulfly, valiant defense. 8-4 from the new boy.
Like, there's 2 players in this Aurora team that you really don't want entering that flow state. Obviously, Xantares is one of them, but you were able to kind of slow his roll at the start of this game. The other name is Woxic, and the thing I think that's so threatening about Woxic finding his form like this is you never really know where this guy is going to pop up next. You're always left looking over your shoulder. In this round, they will get past him, but Soulfly able to contain this top site spillover down through the vent feels like the best and maybe only option for GamerLegion. Even then, it's still a battle. Maggia rotates in over the ramp. He's got Xantares in the sidecar. Snax having a hold on to vent, is baited out. Tunnel visioned on the vent angle.
Ouch!
And there's no road left to run for Hypex. He is fully boxed in. Spam from everywhere. Flashes connecting, and he will get overran. The score is kept squeaky clean for Aurora.
Yeah, forget that pistol round. I'm not even counting it at this point for GamerLegion. 7-1 scoreline. Hypex overwhelmed by every bit of utility in the book. And Aurora, even though they had no one B, no one ramp ready to rotate, they are so quick to deal with that. They are feeling it right now. Dropping down vent even before Wicardia came through with the cover. It didn't matter. They're not getting punished for anything in this game. Another buy-in for GamerLegion. The bomb plant allows that, but gonna need something to happen here for GamerLegion if they don't want to get swept on their map pick.
Well, you know, it said it coming in when we talked about the veto. We haven't really seen this version of the GamerLegion squad play Nuke, right? They had their first official on it the other day. They were handed an L. By a team I doubt you've heard of, Hugo. And so, you know,
you still got it, Harry.
Now getting to bring it in versus Aurora, maybe not wanting to run the risk of retreading the ground from their series win back at Bounty.
Ooh. Hello.
Drop down for Wicardia, only going to get out with 1. Here's Woxic. Again, that AWP seeks to punish, but he's trapped in the smokes, runs the risk of getting overwhelmed. Rez breaks through with a triple set of entries. And so now you're left looking on at Maggia, 1v3. Look, you've won a bunch of rounds you weren't really supposed to if you're Aurora here. And so even though Maggia's meant to be the calmer head at the top of the operation for Aurora, I think he's very, very interested in giving this one a look in. Yeah, the fact they haven't planted yet even is kind of setting the tone. He knows they're nervous, that this round could still get away from them. Now, there was actually a chance to punish the plant there. Maggia never took it. And now that they get the spot, he's in a bit of a rough situation, is old Maggia. Util comes in, brings him down a half. And even though he's anticipating the peak from Rez, he won't get given it, and he knows that. It's a save starting to feel like the only option here for the captain of Aurora.
Shame to see. He had a good idea what was going on. He's shaking his mouse on Rez's position, but nothing he can do. Rez's triple kills enough, and Maggia looks to hunt these saving players in the lobby. Rez remaining aware will find 4 of his own to put the game on for GamerLegion. Poor Woxic felt like that was a multi-kill brewing, but he shot the blood of his teammate on the wall when he came out of that smoke. Saying earlier, him dropping back sight, definitely potential for multi-kills, but missed connection here, and GamerLegion get in the game. And safe to say, it's always salvageable on the T side of Nuke. 5 would be absolutely fine. But it is, as you alluded to, Harry, maybe that lack of experience on this map with this roster. It was a map that they really liked, or at least ZTR really liked under GamerLegion. He called some really nice paced outside rounds, something we've not really seen yet from GL. Different variants of smoke walls, a lot of conditioning. But let's see what Snax is cooking up on these T sides. This GamerLegion desperately need these last few rounds.
You just got to tell yourself here, you know, the half has gone really quite poorly, but it's still, you know, not beyond recovery. Rez finding a great timing on this cross in a main, but a hell of a spot from Soulfly at the back of the site means that Rez loses that element of surprise and will get cleaned up. Woxic's Orb even going to follow up, extending this advantage 5v2. And when you look at kind of the amount of kills that have gone down and just how little space, how little you kind of have to show for it, it's a very, very suffocating round.
I like the AUG buy for Magi. I want to get ahead of this and just say that I've been playing it a lot, Harry. This gun's actually really good right now. It feels like a good buy. When you're controlling the economy on CT side, you have a lot of money. I think there's a very good argument to buy this weapon. You know, jokingly, it's the old man gun, right? We always said, we saw the Carragans of the world use it, especially in-game leaders, but at the same time, I think it can provide a lot of versatility. It's got one-shot headshot up close. It's got a big mag, close range, far range. It works. You've got the scope. Spray is pretty easy as well. So, especially for certain positions like the ones Madge's playing,
yeah,
I think it could be very valuable. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bit more of it here in Kraków.
Yeah, I think it all started with Grim really trying to get it out there, right? And I feel like others have started taking note. You're dead on. It's the one-shot potential at close range mixed with the scope to give you a lot of versatility at longer ranges.
A very easy spray as well. Like, you'd expect people to be scoped in. I actually don't even think you need to scope in a lot of the time with that gun. Like, sure, if you're playing hell to yard, yes. But anywhere else, you can just hip fire with that thing. Let's see what Magic can do with it. He's rotating down B, and he will be called upon as GamerLegion make the cross down secret. Two players playing delayed. Again, looking for the late yard rotate here. Will Aurora move through the yard? Doesn't look like it. Woxic takes up ramp. He has been everywhere on this AWP, and Maja anchors B. So might force GamerLegion's hand into this lower site. It's that or a vent climb.
Well, I mean, if they do go into lower, look at what they've got to contend with. Right now, it's only Magic down here, but who's his next point of rotation? It's going to be Woxic with this AWP over at ramp. And I know if there's one guy you're really looking to avoid at all costs in this game, it is Woxic on that AWP. So a fake plant in at lower from Snax, hoping he could bait some type of reaction. His teammates, meanwhile, taking main, but Snax will decide to just take this bomb plant while it's being offered.
It's crazy. You've got 3 lurkers right now. Only 2 players on that bottom site. They're flanking ramp. Huge kill for Snax. Ricardi doesn't know he ain't getting down that vent. And there's a flank on ramp that Aurora have to worry about. Snax careful, can't afford to die.
Still just playing a delay. Woxic gives chase, break on the smoke, trade in on Rez. It's down to these later arriving players. Hypex out of the single door and Torsing getting in ramp side. It all was a little bit chaotic, but it was chaos by design from Snax.
I think a lot can go wrong there in that call, right? If your B players die too soon. Snax is playing inside of the smoke in the site. If he dies insta, they can get on that bomb. It could be a big problem, but it's an open plant for ramp. There's flanks on flanks. Aurora can't safely rotate anywhere, and when they do, they get shot in the back. So there is method behind the madness here for GamerLegion, but there is a lot of madness. They need it to find these 4 rounds.
All right, eyes set on a topside play, or at least the util for it. Gonna start streaming in all these mollies, but a missed one on top of the heart. That could prove punishing. means they have to go and clear Soulfly manual mode, and that allows the rest of Aurora to come through and set up these crossfires. You battle it into a 2v2. But you look at who's left standing. It's some heavy hitters for Aurora. Repositioned down through the vents, trying to get ahead of these rotates and give yourselves the best chance in this 2v2. Right now, they are ahead of it. They will have this plant at lower. Going to take some time for Aurora to get into position, especially with this recommit to a yard wrap for Madja.
This is audacious for Madja. It leaves him completely out of the play. Woxic on
and
his
he's
own
running
right now.
too. He's heard by Hypex here, knows that if he's just patient, he's got a kill on a silver platter. And at that point, you're now firmly in the driver's seat. Woxic has had some absolutely phenomenal rounds in this game, but this would have to be his best one yet. Tap on the door, puts the fear in him. Once more, Snacks playing around with this door control. Woxic, the no-scopes won't land, and so GamerLegion somewhat on the path to recovery. 4 rounds picked up on their new look nuke. Can they stop this Woxic showing and look to come back now on the CT side?
Aurora rock up and rock the boat of GamerLegion. 8 CT rounds on Nuke. It's GamerLegion's pick, and you would barely know it. Recovering by the end of the half, but far from thriving here in their debut at Kraków. It's Aurora with new boy Soulfly looking solid so far.
Yeah, and I think as far as they're concerned, they've got a bit of a score to settle, right? This was the team that stopped Aurora's bounty run in its tracks. Just shy of making a playoff appearance themselves. But different maps this time around. The decision to come to Nuke for GamerLegion. A map that we haven't really seen this version of the squad play all too much. And they've been dealt a rough hand to open things up. Won the pistol in that first half, if you could believe it. Let's see how they fare in this one. Soulfly dead at the dawn of the A exec. They managed to get players in, but it's by design for GamerLegion, who are always prepared to retake should it come down to it. 5-on-3 now. We've said for GamerLegion, one of the problems is getting to good positions, but struggling to close. You really hope this is not another case of that. Zantares! Oh my God, had to get put down quickly, because if you let him pick up too much steam, he's on his way to that 1v4. That would have been an ace clutch for Zantares. Thank goodness Rez gets there in time with a 4K of his own.
This is just the Rez life game day again. Another 4K for Rez to find a very important round for GamerLegion. It was getting scary there in an essential 1v5 for Zantares. Not going to happen though. It's GamerLegion, big pistol win. Retake on that top site, and we have a force buy for Aurora. Only Zantares' Galil is a pretty weak buy otherwise. Prioritizing some utility. And heading outside.
Oh, a nade on the smoke arrives a little too late, and even the punish from Zantares as he falls off the top of main.
Audacious.
He's rewarded a 5v4. And look at the amount of control you've taken down towards lower. You've got players down the vents. Wakadia made it down here. Madja led the charge in through Secret. You're already in a really strong position here.
Save, maybe.
Could be brewing for GamerLegion. They've played to contain over towards the top site, and with the bomb going down in at lower, Zantares still roaming the yard. You're going to be hard-pressed to do anything here. It might just have to be that save and out of necessity.
It's worse than you think as well. With 4 players lower, I just don't see a way the GamerLegion could get back into that round. And it's annoying because it's not like they're even up against the biggest of guns, but positions are enough. Zantares holds for a CT save, but GamerLegion go the other way. So they will get another chance with these 2 M4s, but that is a robbery round again from Aurora. They've won both force buys after losing both pistols in this map.
Yeah, 100% round 2 break percentage for Aurora.
Terrorists win.
It's a worst way to start your halves, GamerLegion. Would have rather get 1v5'd. I can't believe Zantares, with the rifle, drops off main roof. Snacks had shadow as well. He knew it was coming. Did nothing about it. And PR right now is 3-12, Harry. Touted at one point last year as the next big thing, as a future star of a potential top squad. And he's had some incredible events last year, but coming pretty cold to 2026. GamerLegion need him if they're going to get out of this stage. It's a hyper-competitive stage 1, Harry. I mentioned earlier, with all top 24 teams in attendance, top 8 in stage 2. You got Heroic and Paravision on the same side of the bracket. Of course, a lower bracket with full BO3s in this event, but nobody wants to go down there. Hypex scout outside, scaling roof again. Only a spot for Wakadia.
I don't think you're going to anticipate that Woxic's got his hands on an AWP already, and he's made some sacrifices to do it. He doesn't have head armor, which is pretty big on the T side, right? He's vulnerable to the M4s, vulnerable to the SMGs. With the game he's having, his priority is putting that weapon of choice in hand fast as possible. Rez, good reaction here out through Secret, answers the outside play with a double kill, and it is 2 heavy hitters removed. The Woxic Orb brushed aside and forgotten about, and Xantares also picked up in the chaos.
These smokes really allow them to cross into Garage, so Aurora wrapping this topside again.
Defense is split up here with PR already down at lower, so you've only got one man to worry about. If you're able to deal with Hypex out here in heaven, which is going to be the position Aurora scale for, there's very little left to play for in this round for PR. And a close check. No scope might have connected. Has to follow up with another. Second man in through heaven. And he heard the vent drop down, so Maggia just collects his free kill. PR moves in, up through the vent. Can't quite convert. 3 health remaining on Maggia, and it will make a world of difference.
Just disaster after disaster in this game for GamerLegion. I feel like it's a match they'll leave and just say, hey, whatever. So many unlucky moments, so many unconverted advantages, so many winnable rounds. But Aurora, with a lot of flair, Maggia surviving on 3 health. PR can't catch a break. Very winnable round for him, but Aurora 10-5, break the money fully here of GamerLegion. It's going to get worse before it gets better. That's the only certainty here.
So the worst game for PR ever I've seen him have was 4 kills. 4 and 14, and obviously you'll remember this one, Hugo. That was the Falcons out in Melbourne
Playoff
in the
game.
quarterfinal. His first time on a big stage.
That whole team got wrecked, really.
PR right now, 3 and 13. This could be his worst performance ever.
Well, there's still rounds to recover, but are they guaranteed? Res Deeg, Snacks falls. Xantares scales up above. He's got to look down in the locker if he wants to find Rez, who is considering everything. But can't really do much to stop Xantares. Gamble on B is misplaced in this position. As the bomb comes back up with Maggia and goes searching. They've locked a player in main. Deagle revealed. Xantares waiting in PR, another unwinnable round.
And Aurora just have so many chances to lock in this map. And then, you know, if you kind of start thinking ahead, you start thinking to what lays in wait in this series. This is where the decision to depart from the veto when these squads met at Bounty could really be punishing for GamerLegion. Trying to change things, right? We said maybe not wanting to retread old ground with the nuke pick to open things up. But when you look at Dust2, not only has it been one that GamerLegion have had their struggles on, but even thinking back to that head-to-head between these squads, this was the map that Aurora won. And I'm going to say this, with the form that we're getting out of Woxic right now, thinking about him taking to Dust2 as an individual is a very, very scary prospect.
You hope you get the Rez that played against Vitality on that very map, right? Back at the finals, but at the same time, it's across the board a different game here for Aurora. 11-5. And I want to say the scoreline is maybe not as close as it feels. But at the end of the day, I mean, GamerLegion, just because they've had the opportunities, they just haven't closed on any of them.
Yeah, I think there are some teams you're willing to give the benefit of the doubt in that regard. The idea that, you know, you kept getting to man advantages and uncharacteristically they got away from you. And so, yes, the scoreline doesn't show how close it is. But sadly, this is starting to feel a little par for the course for GamerLegion. Getting to winnable positions, getting to favorable positions, only to have them get stripped away from you.
What can they do here? Final ditch attempt, or their map pick is gone with the wind.
Yeah, and it's far from, you know, the perfect proper buy. You've already burnt through almost all the util right off the top of the round. You didn't bring a lot of it with you into play.
PR in a battle of patience against Xantares. Xantares goes to clear. PR needs this kill, but it's a Xantares peak. Of course it is. Almost nothing can be done. 5v4, and there is a molly and a flash left on GamerLegion. They're rotating vent. That's just unrealistic. Feels like they know it's done at this point, and it may well truly be. Torsen top sight, headshot by the AWP. That's the guy, that's the third guy behind two teammates.
He had to thread the needle perfectly on that. He had to shoot through two of his teammates. The gap looked tiny. We saw it from Torsen's POV.
Couldn't even really see Woxic. And yeah, you're saving your AWP, Hypex. You don't get to play this round. Aurora 5 up, plant the bomb, and lock in 12.
Another thing, you know, when you kind of zoom out, you look tournament-wide as a whole for GamerLegion, it's a little worrisome that... Because I think there's always a bit of a fear of the unknown, right? Whenever you have these rosters that have even the smallest change, coming off of a break as well.
Sick highlight.
Dude, it's a classic Hypex save sequence. No one gets save sequences as clean as this guy.
Dude, 4 kills. Glad Snack saved his AWP. He's earned it there, getting fully run out, if not for the bomb.
But, you know, I just worry, like, with kind of showcasing now to the other teams here in this opening stage that your nuke maybe isn't up to snuff, because there's been some really uncomfortable moments in here. The res rotate down the vent is only the latest in a line of awkward rotations, missed opportunities for GamerLegion. You worry that if you show other squads that your nuke isn't up to par, will they look to use that against you? PR gets out with 1, so it's no longer his worst game ever. It's tied for it.
It's a perfect call for Madger. Run through the ramp smoke. Full disrespect at this point in the game, and Aurora at least trying to have some fun on the way out, trying to up the vibes going into a second map, because 12-5 up, everything's working. They rush through that smoke, they get a bomb plant, and they thrust GamerLegion into another very uncomfortable position. There is not any hope here. They are blocked by 2 smokes. They have 1 kit. Hypex's ramp with an AWP. He is taking too long, unfortunately. This might be the end of GamerLegion's pick. Dust2 up next as they fall 1 by 1. Woxic flanking down the vent, but time is on his side. It is not on GamerLegion's.
Gonna get yourselves another kill. Gotta get past Xantares. That miss from Hypex might just cost you dearly, as now it tees up Woxic, and there simply isn't time for Snacks. He's got to grapple with this, got to come to terms with it. Nuke has well and truly gotten away from GamerLegion as Aurora come through swinging to open up their run in Kraków. And what a performance it was, man. Woxic, from the get-go, set the tone.
To the radar right now, Harry, but that's, I think, a good sign. He was never coming in to be the star of this team. When you have Xantares, when you have Woxic, as long as they're performing, Aurora look good for the job.
Said in that last game, PR was looking real rough around the edges. It ended up being his 3rd worst LAN performance of all time.
Oof.
And so hoping to change that here, but not exactly the dream start for him in the pistol as he gets tapped out to open up Dust2.
Rez missed that nade to break the mid smoke so they could help fight middle. So the plan's gone wrong for GamerLegion. Fake mid to B. Won't change much here as Aurora just pummel up the catwalk.
Going to require a massive individual effort, bit of util to try and help out Hypex. That's courtesy of Snacks out here on long. But in comes the wrap as the captains clash. Madger out ahead of it. Good kill back from Rez. Lends a little bit of intrigue to this retake now in a 2-on-3. They'll creep up close. Chance to boost for the site player, but that just thrusts them into the vision of Wakadia. And now Aurora have the info. They know where the last man is. Tap back for Rez. But what's he supposed to do here? Man to deal with in the site. Cross being held from long. far from a winnable position here, and he will just get strung out into the open. Both players fight him together. Aurora win their first pistol of the series to start off their pick of Dust2.
Oh, it's an even better sign for Aurora, like things could get better. I didn't expect that after the first map. Bacardi, a dance of death on that A site, and just really hard fights. If they're not given away, you see Aurora play very tucked in there. Resistant to give GamerLegion away back into the round. GamerLegion here to take it. Forced by in the second. Don't see that a lot on Dust2 on this CT side. Mag 7, of course, for Snacks. And a short setup, but let's see if Aurora use their util well. Will it just be dry contact into this stack?
Oh, there's the scout to cover. Snacks was thinking about going. He saw that molly come out from the door. Instead, his round ends shortly after the swing from Rez. 5-on-3, Aurora in such a strong position here, and they're not going to kind of throw it away by any type of a misguided round here, taking their time to go and group back up in the tunnels. They know wherever they go, they're fielding the advantage. And so now they're committing to B. Torsen will get tucked in, but he is the only line of defense here, and he falters immediately.
Simply done. Nothing to it. The kills come to them. I think maybe a bit more patience for GamerLegion would have gone a long way. With the map so quiet, surprised to see the call to push up on Catwalk. 2 kills fed, and Aurora just walk it in. GamerLegion tested their patience here. No need to go hunting any further.
This is the first pistol round we see get converted as well.
No surprise that it's Aurora. Ooh, careful.
And I think, you know, one of the problems you're going to run into is Aurora just haven't really felt pressured at any point in the series thus far. Letting this team play without pressure is a very, very scary position to be in. You know, you don't want Woxic and Xantares feeling like they can do anything, because then they will. And you won't like that.
Some say a group stage is where Aurora do their best work, so comfortable here with that knowledge. Ooh, bit weird with these pistols, but when the smoke and molly comes down, there's nothing GamerLegion can do but blind spam. Flank well timed. Pressure from Snacks could make this interesting as Hypex walks it in from behind. Hello.
Everyone else for Aurora is still so far away. It's actually only Xantares in the site now with this bomb, and they try and swing him together.
Oh dear.
They're going to get past Xantares. The rest of Aurora now start to arrive to this B site, but very late in the round. They've got a 2v2 in front of them. Woxic donning the Scout is hardly the ideal gun for the job. Caught with util pulled. It comes down to a 1v1 narrowly. Soulfly gets them that conversion. That's the new addition, not crumbling. While the rest of his team get cut down, he will be left standing a shot away from death at the end of that round.
Oh, so heavy on lurks, and they're just wondering, why is the map so quiet? Why is it so clear? Because all of GamerLegion are in the B-bomb site. Really nice try for Hypex. 3 kills on that quick tunnel flank. But still, it's the full conversion here for Aurora. It does just set GamerLegion up for success if they are to win this first gun round. That's still an if. PR pressured it long, put down very low, and Need support now. Missed shot, that's all it takes. Soulfly gets in and gets out. He's going to go back with more. Flash comes through. Soulfly gets that long control, and Hypex is forced to smoke it defensively. This has gone horribly wrong for GamerLegion. And Soulfly, great little move. Even the car molly misses.
Oh,
Woxic doesn't.
that's brutal.
Another mess of a round here for GamerLegion. PR crossing in front of the long doors, punished. And Hypex unable to bail him out. Both players pay the price.
And so all that legwork he did in the previous round doesn't really come to matter for GamerLegion. 5 alive at the end of this one for Aurora. Suddenly any threat of, having your economy broken is out the window. Meanwhile, GamerLegion, at least getting out with these guns, can try piece another buy together. It should have all the pieces it would need outside of an AWP. You're certainly seeing frustration set in now for GamerLegion. A matchup they were able to take just the other week. Now looking to be very punishing against them.
Well, hey, small benefit of, going out early in the online stage, a bounty for Aurora. They got more time to prep, and Prac coming into this event. They certainly do look comfortable in this head-to-head, considering they just lost it, as you say. This is a very different day, a very different Aurora. It's their first matches of the year. Can they keep it together? 4-0 lead on Dust2 T side. They got great long spawns in this round. Feels silly not to take them.
Util there to punish. Snack spam won't connect onto anyone, but PR playing it forward around this smoke. Comes off the back of a really, really rough go at that first map. And it's not going to go much better here as he tries to swing for the long fight. They've done big damage around these smokes. They still have Santares boxed in, trapped at this smoke out behind blue. Soulfly trying to come in and help him, and I can't believe Soulfly is still alive.
What is going on?
I'll decide eventually fighting this hard for long simply isn't worth it.
I'm shocked there's only 2 kills. Lots of damage done, but Aurora get out on the worst end. They were not on the same page there about whether they wanted to fight or escape. Just given the AWP by Woxic on full health.
Soulfly's been a bit of a slippery fish out towards these long doors, man. They just can't get a grasp on him.
Ooh. Surely cancel this play now, Aurora. Re-smoked as they try to go back to long. 2 players still here. Dedicating this long is quite a commitment for GamerLegion. They seem to believe it's going to be a long take, but now, with their own smoke, they push Aurora out into a mid-to-B.
The only thing here is you're kind of hoping that so much time has elapsed that Aurora don't, clamp down on the info they got earlier, which is there's a lot of players fighting for long. They are, however, following through with that, right? Mid-to-B smoke lobbed in. There's only one B-side defender because GamerLegion never rejigged the setup.
Oh, dear.
Even with this long aggro now, you at least know this B play's coming in. Torsen catches a keen double kill. Magic cut down out towards middle. And all right, it's time for that new boy on the block to show what he's got. 1v3 rolled out in front of Soulfly.
Yeah, hardly a simple round. He's on 3 health. They're going to just swing him together. Soulfly sprays for a double, and Snacks at least is able to trade. Beautiful spray, but too many targets here for the one man. My goodness, takes everything for GamerLegion to win that round.
Matt, if he didn't kind of give them a bit of a chance by bringing himself down in the molly to 3 HP, you wonder if surviving 1 extra bullet there could have made any type of a difference. Because that was a ludicrous double kill to open up that 1-on-3 attempt.
Shame no one's looking at window there. Good reaction for Torsen to swing up and just try and peek Aurora rather than just get crunched in B. Doesn't know where they're coming from. Just back to long with a vengeance. More util, more problems. Jumping through the smoke, Snax. A bridge too far, perhaps. PR traded and Rez will survive. But it's Aurora again in control. Oh, it's freaky, but Wakadi hears him on Cat, so he's just going to go hunting. He's missed that mid player, but he is right behind them. They have no idea. Eyes on at least, but knife pulled. The worst timing here for Hypex. Missed his shot. And a gap opens up. Torsen looks to close it.
Yeah, might have to play the big hero again. Will Torsen would take another multi-kill for this to happen. At least draws some attention away from Rez, keeps pressure on Aurora, forcing them forward, going to fight the catwalk. Rez replies, and now you're left looking on. Madja, 1v2. They've closed in quickly out on long. Wasn't ready for Torsen, so deep in behind enemy lines. And, you know, I think at times some of these GamerLegion players looking a little fearful, a little scared. I like that Torsen has come through now with this series of ballsy moves, ballsy peaks, and they have been difference-making ones at that. From the double kill out of the window, double kill here on a fast long flank. Once that realization comes in that they're getting dealt this A play, it was him who pushed through this smoke, right? Just after Wakadia tried to catch the short players falling back. And so, you know, we thought we were looking at the most pivotal move in the round. It was actually Torsen's that ended up doing the damage.
Attack from Aurora. This GamerLegion have broken in with a couple of difficult rounds. Like what we're seeing out of Soulfly right now, right? It looks like he's willing to do anything for the team. I think you come to this squad and you're expecting to be made the kind of lowest on the totem pole to a degree. Dropping guns, playing the worst weapons, going in first at times. It's almost expected. Execute here. Torsen with a strong position, but will still need some support from Rez. They come running.
Volley from Snax out towards mid is pretty huge, or Rez rather. Meant to have slowed the roll. Again, a multi-kill required from Torsen, and he struggles to get out with more than one.
Could have squeezed it a bit more there. If you're gonna let his teammate die, hold on for a bit more. Bomb planted, but a kill through the smoke as it gets broken gives a chance. Oh. Flush through the window, not fun. Okay.
Okay, yeah, the swing from Xantara is going to give them a reason to go for this. Waits for the second flash, tries to play in on the back of it. Hypex hits his, and now Soulfly overran Hypex with a brutal sequence of 3. He's had some really rough swings and misses in this map, but that 3K, a thing of beauty from the first catch on the smoke break, and then the 2 to follow up. They were crisp shots for Hypex, had to be quick on the trigger for all of them.
Yeah, Madja runs back into the site and then jumps, completely gives away his position. Hypex hears the drop and just, that's an easy opening kill. Second one is remarkable, but the first one just handed to him. So a bit of a thrown away post-spawn here for Aurora, who had the advantage on that B-bomb site. Aurora squandering their strong start. Relying on a couple of hero guns here. Xantares sent to roam. Good setup on A. Hypex at least gets one shot. Will he be a victim of the Xantares peak? Nice tag. Nade even better. Aurora spent a lot of time just getting this cat control. 40 seconds on the clock. They've got to go.
Flash to tee up the mid play. Rez spotted out here in the window, still gets his, and Torsen might be blind. Doesn't stop him from delivering another double kill for GamerLegion. Time even to put a fresh mag in the gun, and time running low for Aurora. They've got to move quickly. Good pickup for Xantares. Knows about Torsen at the car, but if he never gives away this fight, Xantares physically can't win the round.
Perfect game for Torsen right now. That is a lovely round from him again on the car. Supportive flashes, and also the position is so strong. We see Soulfly hit him multiple times with the Deagle, but he's hitting through the metal of the car. He's not doing full damage, and Torsen gets away with 3 kills.
I hope we just see Aurora go back to the long control. It's an area on the map they were able to have whenever they wanted it. They have good protocols to take the space. Obviously, you are a little bit spawn dependent if you want to try and go about it quickly. Ooh, all right, Woxic.
Can't hold B now.
And that's the big problem piece gone. Top performer Torsen dead on the cross.
Sick. Look at Snacks go as well. This is audacious once again. And now he's going to have to escape. Position revealed. Perfect time to go long though, Harry. Nobody home. Hypex making up for the pick at B. Gives Aurora a chance to pop through the doors.
Snacks still hanging around here out on cap. He's been burned by this aggression, but not in this round. It's Xantares caught on the jump up. It will be back to that long control for Aurora. And where they've been burned in the past is actually the extremity players, right? Committing to flanks, committing to these lurks. That's what's dealt with the long players. Well, the guy that would do that died right at the start of the round. So you feel a little more secure in this site take, even though you're going into a stack. 3 players here. Woxic Scout delivers a second. Wakadia unable to capitalize on all this chaos. Will get thrown through a bit of a loop here, Aurora. Madja low on health, trying to close the distance, but he's got 2 players still to move past. The Scout continues just to chip away at GamerLegion. And I wonder, Madja not prepared for a second man out on Cat, caught on the jump up. And there just isn't time for Woxic to win this round. He might end up saving this Scout into the next one.
It's not ideal, is it, by any means? And even Snacks knows he can really punish Woxic at the end. But save will be allowed, and GamerLegion take the lead back. This is a 4-0 start for Aurora on their map pick, on a map that has been troublesome for GamerLegion. 6 loss streak of their own. Started by Aurora. And it may be ended as well. Fantastic recovery in some of these rounds. Some man disadvantages. It's kind of the opposite of Nuke, right? Aurora have been favorites in a lot of these rounds that GamerLegion have won. Another B hit. They know they got to a great position last time. So tempting again, perhaps.
To this 2-man B setup. Torsen, he's been problematic. Rez puts a lot of damage downrange in the hold. Still going to get overran. You look at Xantares now, who from the get-go was playing to deny rotates. Faith in his team that they would take the site away. Forced wide by the util and right into the hands of PR. Wakadia going to commit to a lurk of his own. That leaves Woxic with low health in the site itself. Question for GamerLegion is how quickly they move in on this B take. If they lend Wakadia some time, the round is right there for the taking. Extra couple of seconds, and that's all Wakadia needed. A collected little 1v2. Doesn't get stressed out when he loses. Woxic doesn't start doubting the play.
Almost disastrous. They nade out Woxic. They just jump the gun there and go in. That's their round. He's too far out. But Wakadia lines him up and delivers Aurora their 5th round. Round of applause from Madja. Happy with how that one turned, considering they come in with no rifles.
You saw a literal sigh of relief from Madja, because he knows that that one was up in the air, right? He knows it hinges on the out position from Wakadia, the attempt to get ahead of it, all working. If they had played instantly on the back of that kill and tried to force a 2v1 in the site, Wakadia likely loses that round. And so it's thin margins on the play, but it's broken the streak of GamerLegion at least.
Been waiting for this. Woxic long spawn with the AWP. Definitely going to take that here. You said it's been a way in for Aurora. How about just a straight up pick and escape? That's what Woxic gives us. They don't need to play it insta. They've got the 5v4 delivered on a platter. PR 3-8. Another difficult game from him.
Yeah, it's a really, really nice realization from Aurora, this idea that, okay, look, we're winning the long fight a hell of a lot, and if we get the spawns, we're going to take it. We're going to play for that space. When we do, however, we need someone covering for these, you know, re-aggros, these recommits to aggression on the other end of the map. And this time it's Wakadia, entrusted with the tunnels hold, just to make sure that no one's able to get in behind enemy lines. If you're able to turn what was an advantage for GamerLegion, the idea that they have these aggressive moves to pull out after losing the first player, into a problem, you very, very quickly start to restrict what this CT side can do once they lose that opening man.
It's quite a gamble here, called by GamerLegion, and it will leave them likely just saving. Cat control coming out, Aurora just storm into this site, and it is completely empty. Oh dear, he can't even save the AWP. Cardia red hot, and 5v3 forces GamerLegion to play that last round of the half. That's part of the decision. When you make a call like this, you're hoping for two things. One, you're hoping for Aurora to overcook and just go from long to B, but you're also acknowledging, hey, the only way we get rifles in the last round is if we hold on. And so either we kill them all on B or we save our guns for the last. Not the end of the world here for GamerLegion, just would love to get that AWP. Wakadia will not let it happen. Very good move, because the bomb could have blown it over. Not anymore. 6 rounds to Aurora, looking for a solid 7 rounds on the T side.
Terrorists win.
I think if you're GamerLegion here, right, your life's hanging in the balance. You are desperate to tie this up on the half. CT side's been where they largely do their best work here. Even thinking back to that Vitality series from Blast, the 13-11 loss on Dust2. In that game, they only found 2 T-side rifle rounds. The other 2 coming off the back of the pistol, but we've already seen they've had struggles on converting them in this series. So you need every little nudge, every advantage you can get. This started off as a really, really strong start for Aurora. You slowed their roll. This round decides if you leave the game open in that second half.
I like that they tried that. Soulfly just walked out mid to see how far he'd get. He read it right. There was no one home. Spotted from the window, they smoke it and they relax. GamerLegion panic. They even threw their smoke in the B doors. So they're already burning almost all of their util. Snax has everything left at long. It's cat control here for Aurora. Just going to pop Scout and PR. If there was a time for PR to come back in this game, it would be now. Can he get to a better position? Yes.
Good catch on the drop down. Soulfly tries to run it into CT, but it's only one from PR as the danger man. Madja, he dropped down and has second thoughts about it, hopping back up just to play around this bomb. Seen some overzealousness, and these post plants get punished for Aurora.
What's Woxic cooking? That's exactly what he wanted. Off angle, Hypex does find a scout shot, but Woxic is not missing a beat in this series. He is just farming them over eagerly, giving away in, but not enough to take back the round. It's Xantara's triple kill to put 3 in a row there down the stretch for Aurora. This series looking good for the Turkish team. Aurora from Xantara signals 70 rounds here on Dust2. A fantastic start to the series over on Nuke from Aurora, and they've kept it up here on their pick as well. It's been a strugglesome map for GamerLegion, safe to say, and a strugglesome day in the office from PR. Is there hope left in this series, or is stage 1 going down to the lower bracket for GamerLegion? That's in their hands. Oh.
Don't love it, but will serve the purpose. Tap through for Woxic. Doesn't come to matter. And so, Rez, you don't get to play this pistol round, buddy. It's onto the spectate screen. He's going to hope that the rest of his team fare a little better.
Aja has a nade. He's looking to take fights, though. Nading on the short side, not the smoke, letting them cross into the bomb site. Retake setup here for Aurora, but they've got the headshots and they've got a flurry of them. Double for Xantares. Hypex in the sight, but not long left on his life when Cardia just runs him down. And Aurora have just been strangling great GamerLegion in this game. Running at them, fearless. Another pistol for Aurora. They took the first and converted it.
I mean, PR's really got to pick it up, you know? Like, it can be hard when you've had a disastrous opening map, but when you're supposed to be one of the stars of this team, a player that was talked about to no end in 2025, right? You kept thinking, yeah, this is a guy for the future. This is a guy who's going to go on to big things. Having your third worst ever LAN performance now heading into map 2 and still at that same kind of level, it's really not what you want to see. This feels like, you know, if he was just giving a little bit more, some of these rounds maybe get capitalized on even better. GamerLegion could be in a good position right now. You don't want to have something like your third and fourth worst LAN rating in the same series. That just spells disaster.
Oh, what?
Well, that's a good nade.
Is that the best nade of all time?
That is all your nades for the week locked in that one round right there. That's all the damage you needed.
How much? What, 300? More, maybe?
They were all like 30 health. That's, yeah, I think a 300 damage HE.
350, Jay says. He has 393 in the map. So, it's up there. Crazy. No one on his team has more than 25 UD, and he has 400. Thank you very much. Contact up Cat. If they just execute, they're going to catch him setting up. We're all cycling nades. They hear this.
Yeah, Zantares really wants to do that again. He's now kind of chasing the dragon of getting away with all this nade damage.
Oh, but it's right there, Harry. I can reach it.
He's down here, right? Juggled the other one a little bit further up the ramp, so going to be a hell of a journey to go get it. And still brings down the bomb plant at a half health. A man up in the retake, damage done on the util. GamerLegion, it feels uncomfortable right now. They don't have control fully over short. Rez alleviates a lot of the pressure there with 2 kills found on this smoke push. Gets through and deals with PR before Torsen can shut it down. Madge has now crept into the site, suspicious of these smokes, but eventually might just have to get on that bomb. Defuse being held. Torsen's got to line this up, and he's not on the mark.
I think they got it. The defuse comes in.
That is
the round.
So close.
Woo! Milliseconds of difference. Aurora steal it inside of the smoke.
That's crazy. I really thought Torsen had got there in time, but no, you are dead on. Maja, milliseconds the difference on that defuse.
And if I'm PR, I'm a bit pissed. He comes through the smoke, he kills me from behind. Torsen gets a trade. It's too late. Or not, whoever it was. I lost?
Even he was convinced
shocked
that he just won that round.
I lost. I don't blame him. And yeah, PR just gets sidelined. Not even down to him in that round. Dear, oh dear, it's all going wrong.
Yeah, there are some games where you can try and run it through down mid here. This is not one of those games.
Yeah, he just didn't even have his gun out. He just swung suicide after doing the nades.
Oh, they've tried it again. PR gave it a go.
What's happening here? Double break on the smoke. I mean, the first one, the smoke wasn't down. Snacks just peaked. And now PR walks in. 5v3. Madge has got the AUG back out, Harry. It's just a good day for Aurora.
I mean, essentially, you feel like your round's over, but you never got to play. Two of your teammates took the fastest routing to a gunfight, with no gun ready to fight.
It's called suicide for a reason.
Exactly.
A lot's gone wrong.
They weren't discreet when they named the call. If you're looking for something resembling a benefit, it's that you've learned about the double AWP. And so now you've walked out through mid, you know you're closing in on the site of these AWPers. Good pre-fire for Torsen. Hell of a clear on Soulfly, who never got the chance to shoot back. Oh, surely you don't win this one. This was a 3v5 in the first 20 seconds of the round.
Never give up, Harry. The round is never over. The mid to B, the only way to win that. The gap. And Aurora with no eyes on that one as they walk through the corridor smokes into that B-bomb site. The run and gun entry for Torsen, who has been the brightest spark in this series for GamerLegion. That's one way to do it. GamerLegion refuse to surrender and find a 6th round when all is said and done. Look at this entry. No info, just going. Good read. Well, they found a Hypex and AWP at least. Long explosion respected by Madger. Just no one here to stop it. It's got to be Woxic. Soulfly. Eager flank.
The smoke was lobbed in by Aurora, but it leaves me a little nervous that it's going to make Woxic's job a lot harder now. He was in position with that AWP. You still have this flank on the cards, and he'll be waiting to come through. Hope is that Woxic can draw enough attention away, and Soulfly gets activated to find the AWP at the back. Oh, Torsen blind, still delivered the kill.
Another 3 on 5.
Snack's dead at the cross. PR in the sight, in the smoke, side by side with Wakadia, caught on the flick. And now it's just Torsen 1v3. Hope that molly would force someone into the open, get him the kill that kind of gets the clutch rolling, and with that not coming through, how are you supposed to get past this hold? You know there's a man in the site somewhere. You're worried about the Woxic AWP holding onto the cross. It might just be a save for GamerLegion as Torsen reluctantly gets down into the pit, trying to get out of the round with the AWP, give GamerLegion something to fight with in the coming rounds ahead. 11 on the board for Aurora as they make a break for the finish line in their debut here in Kraków. I mean, what a debut it's been. You know, the Woxic show, map 1. Don't worry, he's not gone anywhere. He's still just as threatening here on map 2, but now he's got even more of a supporting cast around him with a strong game from Xantares, who did, you know, kind of got dealt a really, really rough hand at the opener of map 1. Just had unfortunate kills going against him. Good to see he's rebounded. Wakadia up there alongside them. And for the side of GamerLegion, Torsen's played well. Hypex has had some nice moments, but also within that, some huge missed opportunities. And PR has had back-to-back horrendous maps of Counter-Strike.
Yeah, not a fun start to the tournament here for GamerLegion by any means. Blink and you miss it, this game might end. Aurora, 2 rounds. We got 4 players here in the suicide now, Harry. They really want some vengeance. Wakadia hit that. Full running. PR's just unlucky now. Now he's just unlucky. Bullet Magnet. How the hell? And why the hell? GamerLegion, 4 players fighting down the mid doors. They know they're going to get the fight, and they got what they wanted. Madger picks up that AWP. Santares has got a second head.
Yeah, it's a fake dink, and those can always feel frustrating. Rez thinks he's done big damage onto the A player.
Okay, Soulfly, time to step up here. He can swing with his teammate. Santares just calls it, and it's a nice trade, but more where that came from. M4 not up for the job. Madge is going to probably save this. Money is gone here for Aurora. Look, Snacks is making a crazy call there. So, guys, 4 of us drop down mid and fight this orb. But it worked. Never seen that one before. Thoughts?
Look, man, Snacks was playing in the era where you would have 4 guys fighting mid with snipers trying to take it head on.
Auto snipers.
Yeah. No, it's certainly ballsy. And I mean, at this point, you kind of have nothing left to lose, so screw it. Try something out there, try something wild. It's a conversation we've had a couple of times already, but this idea that over the years, you know, you kind of watch players change, develop. Thing with Snacks is he's always been one cheeky MFer, and that remains.
One of a kind.
Terrorists win. We can take long.
I mean, look, Torsen's been doing a phenomenal job of keeping this game alive for GamerLegion. It was him who got the ball rolling on the CT side in the first place, right? If you remember, his flanks out towards long, able to shut down those long take rounds early from Aurora, and it really did disrupt their game plan. I think in the world where they just kept taking long, they would keep getting the space. I actually think they would have had an even better half. But the flanks from Torsen, the fact even that he was left as a solo B-site player in the majority of those rounds to free up extra resources, they've lent on him and his ability a hell of a lot in this game, and right now it's kept them in it.
You could make a compilation of PR coping in this game, kind of like shrugging and laughing his way through his deaths, because what else can you do? But they're still here, Harry. 11-7 and low economy. Certainly not out of the realms of possibility here for GamerLegion. So you can't lose faith yet. Orb fires off at the long side. Boxing, quick rotation. He just wanted to fire so he can put that orb somewhere else. Santaro's waiting for the long smoke, but GamerLegion in no hurry. They've got Rez down lower. Good block, but is it? Because Woxic's on default, and he's just been smoked off.
Woxic says, cheers, bro. I'm glad you can see long with the USPs, Antares. I guess I'll go somewhere else.
Kind of unhelpful.
Hang on, wait, the bomb's going B.
Oh, well, none of this matters. Oh, here! Okay, missed that one. Madja spammed. Snacks just trying to sell this right now. Flash through the smoke. Soulfly's got a 5-7. Why not? Why not get crazy? Why not win the round? All on his own. Flying high in the sight. And AK picked back up. GamerLegion panic stations. 40 seconds to run around the map.
They tell Antares there's guns dropped at B. Soulfly has rolled out the red carpet, and he might just be on for the ace. 4 kills deep in this round. Starts with a 5-7. And with Hypex now spotted, is Antares going to try and hand the ace over? Say, welcome to the team. Welcome to Aurora. Give us more of that, please. That is a fantastic round from their new addition.
Ice cold. He has an armorless 5-7 and a smoke, and he just turns GamerLegion into plant food, compost. Body shots all the way to the win.
Even the sequencing of those kills is just incredibly fortunate. He kills the second guy in first, so then the spacing is off for the trade. No one can believe that.
I'm just shocked. He's like, how have you even gotten one? Dude, 5-7, it's busted. And so a GamerLegion, hope dying after a dismal push through the smoke.
And I think, you know, there's probably something in the grand scheme for Aurora that feels really nice about this, that you can, you know, lose a player like Jota, someone who had strong performances in the Aurora jersey. You know, this was a team where back when they were under the Space Soldiers banner as an example, where like they would really struggle to find the talent to actually elevate their level. The idea that you've done a bit of a plug and play swap, trying to bring in a new piece and he's just won you around like that, I bet that makes them very excited in the big picture of Turkish CS. This is looking like a convincing close for Aurora. They wanted revenge after GamerLegion bested them back at Bounty to deny a playoff run, and they just might get it in a clean 2-0 finish. Only Snax remains. One of the Polish legends cut down, and that will be the killing blow. Aurora dominant 2-0 victory to open up their run in Kraków.
Just a beautiful game out of Aurora, winning the rounds that they had to win, winning the rounds that they shouldn't win. And all the meantime, Woxic is performing with the AWP. A great start to the tournament for Aurora. If you're a fan of this team, then you are very happy. Woxic in form, Santara is recovering from a slow start, and Soulfly